In the technology and business news, Microsoft plans multi-billion-dollar expansion in its headquarters in Redmond, Seattle. The project, which it says is its largest redevelopment ever, is aimed at attracting workers by creating a more vibrant city at its Redmond headquarters. Over the next 7 years, the company will renovate 18 new buildings on the campus, which currently has 80. It will give several other buildings a modern, open feel similar to the workplaces at Amazon, Google, and other big tech companies.
Well, I think it's great for the Pacific Northwest economy. Microsoft really is the reason that our economy took off in the first place from a technology standpoint. On one hand, we're losing the HQ2 from Amazon. Microsoft's doubling down on our area is great news both for the east side as well as the region in general. Well, obviously more jobs is great for the housing industry. I'm involved in the real estate industry and we already know that the housing market is on hyperdrive right now. Jobs are great, but that puts added burden upon the rest of the area to keep up with that and provide a place for people to live and enjoy their lives. It's a response not to Amazon leaving, but to the presence that Amazon has had and to keeping up with Amazon, Google, Facebook, Microsoft competitors. Not that Amazon directly competes with Microsoft, but for high-tech talent. I mean, there's no question. Microsoft is as good as its talent, and it needs to commit, I think, to the region that it's going to stay here and attract great people to the area.
Microsoft President Brad Smith said, "For us, it's not just about the ability to grow, but about the ability to take our campus into the future." Sharif Sida, Microsoft Headquarters, Redmond, Seattle. Seattle housing is the least affordable in North American market. Seattle held the record as the most competitive real estate market for 42 weeks consecutively. However, a firm just released a report confirming a not so much streak anymore. Real estate market research firm Point2 Homes conducted a housing affordability study in 50 North American cities. The study looked at the affordability ratio for each city, which is a figure based on the city's average home sale price and the average family income.
What do you think of the house prices in Seattle?
Oh, they're crazy right now. The values have gone up so fast in such a short period of time. It doesn't really make sense.
What would you say to people thinking about buying a house versus renting?
Well, rents are crazy expensive around here, so it's better to buy if you can afford to.
The study concluded that Seattle is the 9th most unaffordable real estate market in America. The study put Seattle's average home price at $700,000 and its average family income at $80,000. While these numbers may not scare the city's tech workers, and in fact Seattle is actually considered quite affordable for people who work in tech, they represent incomes versus housing prices way above what workers in other industries could only hope to achieve.
I think that they're too high for what I'm used to because I grew up here, so I'm used to housing prices being lower, and then they inflated really quickly. There's some boom in the economy with Amazon and Microsoft and new people coming in that can afford the housing, but I think people who have been here a long time and work in other industries like Boeing or are not making the income to be able to support the housing. Well, I have high school kids, and launching them and knowing that they're not going to be able to afford to live in a neighborhood where we live where the houses are $1 million.
Some of the houses here behind me cost more than $7 million. Some of them range between $2.5 and $5 million. The houses pricing are really booming in the city. This is Sharif Sida, Kirkland, Washington, local news.
Majority of new homes in Seattle are Built Green. Built Green is an environmental-friendly building program developed in Washington state to set standards of excellence that can make a significant impact on housing, health, and the environment. According to GeekWire, 52% of homes built in Seattle in 2016 have been built using Built Green certification.
So Built Green is actually a program that's run in the state of Washington. It's Washington State's version for residential builders of how you actually build to 30% above the energy efficiency of code in the state of Washington. It's definitely worked for me. I mean, part of the reason for doing it is to reduce the cost of ongoing utilities. And so each of the cottages here have a geothermal furnace, which is the most efficient furnace on the market today. And it basically extracts heat from the ground. So it's a variation of solar heat, but again, it takes it from the ground, not directly from the sun. And so that energy powers both air conditioning and heating. Yeah.
More than 31,000 units have been verified in Washington. Researchers found that homes with Built Green certification used about 40% less electricity, amounting to approximately $500 annual bill savings. Country Village, a local shopping experience in historical buildings. Situated in the northeastern part of Seattle, there lie over 45 locally owned shops, restaurants, galleries, and antique stores that are clustered among the extensive plantings of flowers and shrubs.
Everything in our shop is handcrafted in the U.S., so we don't necessarily sell just local, but we do have a big focus on Washington artists and makers. Well, it helps the community because we are supporting our local artists, helping them get their name out there. We also have a website and everything, so we promote our artists not only in our shop, but also online.
Several fountains are located in the village, including one that is situated in a stream that meanders down the duck pond. Brick pathways with old-fashioned lampposts and benches connect the various buildings.
I'm a small business owner, so I definitely appreciate when people buy local because it helps support my family and it's very direct. So in terms of when my business gets supported, I'm able to perhaps employ somebody else. Country Village is a very unique shopping environment, and there's always something going on, especially right now in like the heat of the holiday rush. There's something happening every single weekend.
All the shops are individually owned, each with their own special flavor. The shops are built right into these historical buildings: the barn, the boardwalk building, the boat works, Bristol Bagel Knitter, Carriage House, and others.
I think local is great for the economy. It keeps the small people here, the small businesses, people with a dream that want to give back to the community, and areas like this, they give back to the community, and not just their storefronts and that, but all around the community, to the schools, kids, possibly even the homeless around here. I know David Carolina Smoke, he does that considerably, and I think it's important to have something quaint rather than large and corporate here.
All year round. My favorite place to come.
I think they'd enjoy a unique experience in, say, the antiques, collectibles. They have yarn shop, pet shops, outside food vendors.
You will also learn a lot of history about the buildings in the village. It's a fun family day out where you can take pictures with reindeers, get your hands on priceless antiques, and try some local food. For more information, please visit www.countryvillagebethel.com. This is Sharif Sida, Seattle Local News. First student bus drivers have gone on strike on Wednesday, leaving more than 12,000 students in Seattle without yellow school ride service. The strikers' objectives were to implement fair medical benefits and wages for the drivers. Teamsters Local 174, who are representing 400 bus drivers, protest against what they say as an inferior health care plan being offered by their employer First Student. The union advised that the service will resume on Thursday. However, they warned that a longer strike may take place if their demands are not met. The disruption this incident caused was not severe, as many families received the news from schools the night before.
Yesterday they told us that no buses today. I was like so angry, and I have to call like late to my job. It was like, so they ruined my day basically. I have to call that I'm gonna be late, and So he started at 9 o'clock. So I'm like, well, I hope that doesn't happen again.
Only a minority of families were affected due to being late to work, as they had to drive their kids to school this morning.
They affect me because I have to drop my kids. I have 2 kids. I have to go late to my work, but I have to bring in my kids. No choice.
How did you know about the strike?
They call me in my phone.
The school?
The school.
Okay.
And they say there's no bus.
Many families drove their kids to school today. Some of them were a bit late, some of them had disruptions to their work. Most of them made it to school in time. Many families received the news last night or an hour before the school starting time. The strike is supposed to be for 1 day today. They should resume service starting tomorrow, Thursday. Sharif Sida, Seattle Local News.